Good evening, kiddies. I see you're... Hey, who turned out the lights? Ouch, what was that? Looks like I blown a fuse again. Great, I'm sure an electrician's gonna charge me an arm and a leg to come out here at this hour. Well, kiddos, enjoy tonight's terror tale while I search BooTube to see how I fix these blasted lights. It's about a boy who claims to see strange creatures that hide behind the streetlights. It's a story I like to call The Thin Man.
My name is David, and I had a best friend. His name was Billy. We went to school together and hung out all the time. Then one day Billy stopped coming to school. I didn't see him for weeks. There were rumors he had suffered a nervous breakdown. One evening when my parents were out, there was a knock on the door. When I answered it, Billy was standing there. He was acting very strangely. His eyes were tired and bloodshot, and he looked like he was very nervous. He kept looking around and glancing over his shoulders. "I need to talk to you," he said. So I invited him inside and closed the door. He sat down on the couch, but he just couldn't relax. Something was really bothering him. He was twitching and his leg was shaking. So I asked him, "Are you okay?" And he said, "My parents think I'm crazy. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Even I thought I was crazy for a while." So I asked him, "Are you crazy?" But Billy just let out this chuckle and said, "Look out the window. Just do me a favor and look out the window and tell me what you see." I decided to humor him, so I opened the curtains and I peered out. I see houses, I seen cars, and I seen streetlights. "Exactly," Billy said. "And do you notice anything?" And I didn't. And he asked me, "Do you see those streetlights? They're supposed to be on, but they're not. They're all off. And how could every streetlight be off? Who do you think did that?" And I told him, I don't know who. And Billy lowered his voice and leaned in and told me, "The Thin Man." So I had to ask him, "What are you talking about?" And Billy said he heard the rumors about him before. But I thought it was just an urban legend. It's not. The Thin Man is real. He hates streetlights. He looks just like a normal man at first, but when he unfolds himself, he's really tall and he's really thin, just like a streetlight. And he's all dressed in gray, just like a streetlight. He hides behind them when it starts to get dark outside and the streetlights are on. You wouldn't even know he was there. So I had to ask, "How do you know all of this?" And Billy told me because he's seen him a few weeks ago. Billy was kicking around a football in the park and accidentally kicked it into the bushes. And that's when he saw him. He just seemed like an ordinary man standing in the street. He was looking up and down the block. When he thought no one was watching, he just sort of unfolded himself. He turned into something tall and thin, and he hid behind the streetlights. All of a sudden, Billy heard a click, and the light went out. Then he just sort of slid to the next streetlight. And click, another one went out. He did that all the way down the block. Click, slide, click, slide, click, slide, until all the lights were out. That's when he noticed Billy. All of a sudden their eyes met, and he knew he had seen him, and he knew he had seen Billy. Billy said he just started running and he didn't look back. When he got home, he locked all the doors. Billy told me for a long time after that he was afraid to leave the house, and then he realized it was only dangerous at night. It's usually safe in the day. He only comes out at night. He hates being seen. Billy didn't think anyone believed him. His parents took him to a psychiatrist, and she didn't believe him either. Billy asked me if I believed him, and I told him, sure I do. And Billy didn't think I believed him. He was my best friend. And with that, Billy left. And at the front door, he looked all around to make sure it was safe. And then he took off running. I watched him until he was out of sight. Then I went back inside. I felt really sad. I felt like my best friend had lost his mind. That was until the next morning when the police found Billy. He had been folded. There was no blood, no guts. Just every bone in his body had been broken. He had been folded into a tiny little bundle. The police didn't even know what they found at first until they picked it up and saw his flattened face. His mother had to go down to the police station and identify him. When they brought her into the room to show her his remains, she fainted. He was just a tiny bundle of flesh and bone, clothes and hair. He had been folded. Ever since I heard the news, I have been on edge. I can't stop thinking about the crazy things Billy told me. Suddenly they don't seem so crazy. I haven't been able to sleep. I'm tired and my eyes are bloodshot. I'm nervous all the time, and I always find myself looking over my shoulder. This morning, when I left for school, I counted the street lamps on my road. When I came home this evening, I counted them again. There was one too many.
Get in there. There we go. Let's see if this works. Ah, that did the trick. I got more for my money that way. I guess the Thin Man is good at hide and shriek. And maybe cards because he sure knows how to hold them and when to fold them. Looks like David better watch out or he's next. I wouldn't be home alone if I was him. See you next time, kiddos, for another Dread Time story. And remember to stay creepy.